And we are recording. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Morning. I'm a gentleman. I
Morning.
like that.
We don't have any women joining us. Where'd the women go? They used to come visit, and now they're
This-
bored with us. They're on to other things.
Yep. The- these these
Things-
things usually devolve to to the testosterone, unfortunately.
Did you did you discover any new AI products this weekend?
I haven't. Have you guys?
Grock. I started playing with Grock and got some. Not the best audio, but lip synced audio. Um, So did get something this weekend. Tom, did you play with it more?
Grock?
Yeah.
Yeah, Grock is doing well for me as far as lip sync.
Mhm.
But by the time I get it right, I'm out of generations. It goes really quick. I get maybe like 15 to 20, then I run out. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's. I think it when the server gets busy at certain times, it loses focus or it gets it gets slow or whatever. But
Yeah.
sometimes I get just music, sometimes I get the mouth moving and no audio, and sometimes it's perfect. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
you can give it audio and it will do the lip sync,
Mhm.
Tim? Or oh wow, so you can give it an audio track and an image and it will do the lip sync.
Mhm. Yep. And it does
Yes.
some. It's a lot more flexible than other ones. Like I can change clothing, I can change hairstyle, I can give it directions, and it does it. It does the. I notice if I put like exclamation points in the audio, it messes it up sometimes. So the actual cadence or the actual expressions is kind of random. But sometimes it's perfect. I don't. It doesn't seem to be controllable as well as I would like, but it's cool. I definitely like it,
And it's free.
and it's free. Yeah. And I
Has
like it.
anyone tried popcorn, the Hicksfield thing?
Nope. I've not tried
Hicksfield
that yet.
popcorn looks amazing. It's like the next level of nano banana. It looks like pretty legit. I think they're crushing it, Hicksfield. They have so many tools and they have all the other stuff on their platform too. So it's like you can render in any video engine, you can and then they have all these preset tools that are just so cool that now um they're doing it now and I forget which platform's doing it now. I think it's OpenAI now. They're making these preset tools, or one of them. Maybe it's in Google and VO. I can't remember which one, but they're doing the same thing that Hicksfield's been doing for a while, where you have like things that you do all the time, like a pull out from something or this, and it's just like they have these just preset models. You just drop that on, and it will do it, like a pull out from the earth. So someone standing at a gas station pulling out to like a shot of the earth. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it
always like on
seems
promo world, we used to always have to do stuff like that, have clients asking for that, right?
it seems very consumer um focused. Like it seems for like the basic UGC crowd is what a lot of their presets feel like. They have professional tools, but then they have these presets where it's kind of
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't
things
know
like I'm
how
saying,
else to
like that,
just
like, yeah, people that would normally just need this thing done, but
yeah,
it's like to prompt that and get that to look right, it's hard, but
yeah.
like they've already made a perfect preset that does it and it works.
Yeah, Kling reached out to me, and they wanna do a call this week, so I'm gonna do some kind of feedback call, and one of the things that I wanna talk to them about is having some type of workflow, um,
Put your
kinda
512 SE behind you.
yeah, exactly. So some kind of workflow where you can keep, keep your character images in one place, and you can Like
Yeah,
like right now,
environments,
yeah,
backgrounds, like they need that.
yeah,
I don't know why no one's done that yet. It's just crazy. It
yeah.
seems like
Did you look
so
at that?
fundamentally.
Did you look at that video I sent you? How that guy did it?
I started watching it. I didn't finish it.
So he creates characters
Hey,
and
Steven.
then he builds different positions and then he feeds it, and then that archive links to 11 labs. So he gets the video references into 11 labs, or the audio into the archive for the system he uses, and they come out consistent all the time, and they talk and
Where's he archiving it?
it's a and that's what I was trying to find. I can't remember the name of it. It's $110 a month. And
Great.
it's made
That's awesome.
well, it's working. Um,
Yeah.
It's $110 a month, and he says that it's accurate. He can do longer clips, and he's been building an AI influencer called Itana. Let me see if I can find it. But
Yeah, she looks pretty good. Like he's built a consistent character and she looks decent. And he shares the workflow in that video. Did you post that on the site, Tom,
no,
or did you just send it to me?
I just sent it to you because we were talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you
And
could post it, that'd be cool.
there's other ones that do that, and they're cheaper, but I don't know how well they work.
Yeah, it would just be nice to have a place to keep your characters and be able to link them to the video models. And somebody like Kling or Hicksfield seems like the right kind of place to do that, so that there's a workflow place. Or, if Final Cut got into the business, having that workflow there, that seems to be like a missing, like you've got to kind of roll your own right now.
Someone should make an API. You know how the Final Cut now you can do your own APIs, and it's
Hmm.
really powerful. Like their API tool where you can basically integrate like a stock footage company could make it an easy integration with Final Cut. Like someone should just make an easy integration with these AI tools, and you could just be doing it right in Final Cut. Like it'd
Yeah,
be easy to do. They have an API to do it, so it's like it's
yeah,
just the coding of that API. It's just using that API to integrate it. Would be very cool for someone to do that.
yeah.
You know, because then you're
Ron
just like
Steak,
in
Ron,
Final Cut doing it. It's like it'd be
you
so
take it. You
easy.
taking notes, Ron?
Of course I am.
But like I've seen really good integration with some people have done it really well. Integrating it, and it's just right there. It's like so you're in Final Cut, and you just like stock footage. You could search for sound effects, and just boom, they're in your timeline. It's like so cool. But
Well,
you're using another website.
I enjoyed that Apple MacBook Pro video you sent me, Mike,
Yeah, isn't
with
that
the
interesting?
like, yeah, there's a comparison test on the new chips, or was it the M4 versus the M5?
Well, it's the M4 Pro, so it's a
That's
higher
right, M4
level
Pro.
chip.
Yeah,
So, but you can get that computer for only like $100 more, and for certain things, it's way better. The M4 Pro. So it's
yeah,
like until the M5 Pro comes out, it's really like you're really basically a base level system when you buy the M5, and so it's like it's all like if you can get the M4 Pro for on sale, it's almost better to get that machine than the M5, depending on what you're doing. You know,
yeah. It
especially
seemed
like
though that the 5 consumer version, whatever the base model, worked pretty well,
no,
and it was less
it
money than
works
the 4
surprisingly
Pro.
well. But like if you're
Yeah,
starting to do like multi-threaded outputs with large, like if you're in Final Cut and you're outputting stuff, there's no comparison. Like it's just the you know the M4 Pro will do better because the M4 Pro, has certain functionality that works better in that type of workflow. But if you're just doing standard stuff, the M5 is way better, right? So it's like if you're just web browsing or doing,
yeah.
emails and all that. Yeah, but it's interesting how powerful, how close it does come to the M4 Pro. For
Yeah.
like I said, for normally it's like $400 cheaper, but right now on Amazon there's a sale, so you can get it for like $100 more. So it's not as much of a savings right this moment, right?
Yeah.
But
And the
like,
and the
because
and
the
the
M4 Pro
M
has dual fans, it has like a lot of things that will,
and
stop
the
you
M
from being throttled
the M5 Pro doesn't come out until 2026 sometime,
till
right?
next year. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably in
Yeah.
January or February. That's usually what
Yeah.
how they do it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I know, it's like I'm in the same place where it's like, what computer to get? It's like,
Yeah.
it's funny. I seen another video like where they were comparing battery life, and my wife, she has an M1 Air, right?
Yeah.
And the battery life on that thing is just insane. And like people have done tests, and like that one by far of any of the computers, it
Yeah.
just blows all of them away. And so if you're just doing like simple stuff like emails and web browsing and watching, like
You
movies,
guys are all
I think
PCs, aren't you?
No, I'm
Yeah.
I'm using a MacBook Pro. I'm using
Okay.
an
Okay.
M2.
We got one other Mac because I'm looking at Ron and Tom and they're just like,
they're just like, oh yeah,
yeah,
like
Well, no,
yeah,
it's kind of
whatever.
amazing since Apple started making their own chips. There's been a lot of innovation there. I think
Mhm.
they can actually drive the ship now rather than just waiting in line.
Well, I
So,
was so surprised when they're doing the test of the AI stuff, how fast the AI stuff is on the M5 chip. It's just crazy. Like using Flux with the M5, it's like fast. It's like, God.
but the
It's like
flip
I have,
side is on the phones. Like I have a 15 Pro Max, iPhone 15 Pro Max, and since Apple Intelligence came out, I mean, this thing just gets hammered. It gets hot. It
Oh yeah,
through battery. It's not a great
not a good
experience.
experience. Yeah,
yeah, but I think the Apple does that. I think they as soon as they come out with a new version, they
Yeah.
do something so you have to
Yeah.
upgrade. It's
Yeah.
like they
Well, I'm
make
going to
it so
replace the
it's
battery. I mean, it's a great phone. So
yeah.
yeah. I've always noticed like right before an iPhone new model comes out, I drop calls. Like it's just the weirdest thing. And I don't think that's Apple. I think that's the carrier.
But I think
Yeah,
one
it's
reason
probably
they do get hot and burn battery when a new phone comes out is because the new iOS comes up and there's all this background processing that happens for a while.
Sure. Yeah.
But
oh
but
yeah,
I
I
do
was
think there
watching
may be some conspiracy there to force
Yeah.
your hand.
I was watching this whole thing about the glass, how the glass, how much battery that takes up just doing all the glass stuff. So you don't think of it, but like just doing all these really beautiful effects, like takes up so much battery life. And they were
Oh,
doing all these
I'm going to
comparisons
turn it
where
off.
like,
That's a good tip. I'm going to turn off those.
yeah, that's what it is. It's the glass. The glass just gobbles
Interesting, because I
battery.
could care less about the glass.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's like when a woman gets their nails done. It's like, "Oh, great, awesome. So what? Like I could care
Yeah.
less about fingernails.
Well, not all the apps have been fixed interface wise, so there's times you can't really see stuff with
Yeah.
the interface.
Yeah. Have you?
Yeah.
Have any of you got anywhere with Meta AI, um, and lip sync there? Hey, Mello.
Morning, gentlemen.
It, yeah, Tom and I were noticing, and maybe Mike as well, that there are some lip synced videos on Meta AI,
Ooh,
and it seems like you have to have a certain level of Instagram account to get access to that, but I don't know that for sure. But some of them are really good, and others not so much.
and that's
But
through
yeah,
Instagram. You can get this one.
well, if you download the Meta AI app, you can make videos there, and apparently they did a partnership with MidJourney, so the quality of the images and the video, depending on what you do, look amazing.
Wow,
And so it's definitely worth playing with to see. You could get some B-roll for your medical videos, Carm.
that's pretty
You
cool.
could
Well,
load
well,
up
wait a
on
minute.
that.
Do they charge for tokens on Meta, or is it basically
No, it's
free
free.
access to MidJourney.
So Grock, the free stuff on Grock and free stuff on Meta AI with no logos. And
Nice.
then Sora, you can get no logo versions through other platforms. Like I think InVideo is one that has a no, and
Hicksfield does too.
Hicksfield does too. Yeah. So you can get access. It's just, what are you paying for it?
And that LTX is something to try too. It's open source and you can run it locally, but they also have a website where you can run it on their GPUs, and it seems to be a pretty good video model. It's called LTX2. For all the guys that are PC guys that are running stuff local, like it's, pretty much like that seems like that's the one that a lot of people are using.
Yeah.
Does it require that you use that comfy UI to do it too, like that weird workflow, or does it have its own app?
No, I think it has its own app, but I think it also has a plugin for Comfy. So I think it's like works both ways.
So Comfy has a cloud version out now. Came out last week, so you don't even have to install it on your computer.
Oh,
so
nice.
I don't know. And it uses a service to process, so it's faster.
I think most apps
cloud
should be web-based. Like instead of having to download things, it should be all on the servers, like the way the iPhone was in the beginning.
Yeah, the only issue is then you're like paying for everything. It's so nice.
Do they charge, Tom?
Because
it's in beta now. I got an invite for it and tried it, and it works, but it was no different than the local version. So I maybe when they launch it, they're gonna, have
free for now. Free for now. Uh-huh.
Yeah, like Topaz, you could buy the apps, right? And you could do upresers and you can do all that stuff for free down on your computer. And it's, it's fine. I mean, it's not as fast as you could do it in the cloud, but it's free, right? So you could do unlimited upreses. Well, now you can't even buy that model anymore. Now it's like only pay to play, and
yeah, I just got the new Topaz. Still trying to figure out how to get realistic looking stuff scaled.
Yeah, I mean it's their upreser is really good. The gigapixel is really good.
I've been playing
stills.
with the video models. I've used them before in the past, but using them with AI is a little different with AI generated.
Yeah, I mean their video model is pretty good for the upresing, but their cloud-based one is pretty interesting to do the creative upresing, where it actually adds detail.
That's
cool.
Your renders.
Cool.
And that you get a certain number of tokens per month with the subscription.
Yeah.
And that's the Topaz Labs. Yeah, that's really sick. I like what they can do with videos.
Yeah, the video is really cool. Like especially for the AI stuff, because it adds detail, so you can play around with the I just wish they had more sliders. They only just have like, medium, high. It's like
right.
I wish you could really fine tune it because
oh, sorry.
No, right.
I've seen it hallucinate on the adding.
Yeah, on the up, exactly. That's just it. So I wish I could do a slider where I could just go a little bit less, a little bit, so you get right at that edge where, because that's what's so great about Magnifique. There's so many settings. I don't know how many people have played around with that, but it's expensive. But for still upresing, I think it's by far the best. Like there's nothing that compares to it because you can get so granular and you can reprompt. So let's say you have an image of a creature and you want it to be more slimy. You can say slimy creature. And then when it does the upres, it still keeps your creature, but it adds more slime and stuff. So you can do stuff like that. That's really, it makes it really powerful for doing like, creative upscales, but like with way more tools. So it's more complicated, but it you have a lot more control. So like
Mike,
everything through that, Yeah, what?
Did your son meet George Lucas this weekend?
Well, it's so funny because I sent you the video, but like another friend of mine sent me a video that they had taken of Lucas coming in. He was an hour late, so it was like, so that's why everyone was like kind of quiet, and no one was. It was like everyone was just like, is he ever going to show up? And he was an hour late. But someone else had sent a video of me of him, and Sean's in the shot. So like I sent Sean, I said, oh, look, you have a picture with George Lucas. Because he's like
Pretty
filming
funny.
George Lucas as George Lucas is coming in, but he's not looking through his lens. He's like going like this, like looking at him, and he passes right by him. And like this other person had sent me a video of their daughter filming him come in, and Sean's in the shot. So it's just so funny.
Did he talk about AI at all?
No, you know what's so funny is the guy that ran that class, I think he was just completely starstruck. And Sean said, Lucas just ran the show. Like he just didn't give the guy any. And one of the questions that had gotten chosen, there was only 30 questions out of all the questions from people in the class. There were only 30 questions that had gotten chosen. And one of them, Sean's friend had given, and it was about AI. Like, you know, you've been so influential in all these different things. How do you feel about AI? And that was one of the questions, but they literally got to none of the student questions because the guy that was the moderator just was so starstruck. I think he just, you know. But Sean said like it was just crazy when he came in. It was just such an aura. Like he said, it was just so bizarre. And then the whole time he's just so self-deprecating. He's like, people think I'm a genius. He's like, you know, like he's just explaining all the things that had happened. He's like, the toy thing was just a total accident. They refused to market the film. And so I just said, well, I'm going to do the toy thing. And so give me the rights to the toy. You know, like he's telling the whole story about how it was just a series of accidents. Like everything was an accident, you know, and just luck lining things up. But I mean, I don't know. Like it's still, there's just the first 3 movies.
Yeah. Could you imagine like if you'd had AI to make that film? Like, wow.
It's just insane, you know.
Man.
I mean, you just think I'm more impressed with Lucas is like all the things he brought to cinema as like you know everything from THX to make sure all the theaters
to
had good
Pixar,
sound, right?
Yeah,
Pixar, Edit Droid, which became Avid, which is now all of our nonlinear editing systems. Is that Pro Tools, which is like the sound editing. I mean, you just think of like the modern cinema today would be nothing if it wasn't for him. All of those tools came from him, you know?
So I didn't know Edit Droid was Avid.
Oh, yeah. Edit Droid is Avid. Avid bought the patents from Edit Droid. Edit Droid was Lucas. And when I was at SC, we had Edit Droid, and it was all.
Yeah, I remember that.
Burned,
I was at SC.
You know, burned the laser discs. And, yeah.
I never got to use it, though.
Oh, I got to play with it because I was in this one class and they let you play with it. I mean, I didn't get to burn my own stuff onto the laser disc, but I got to play with just using it. And then they got to Avid right after that. That's why SC was like a beta tester for Avid because they had bought it from all the patents from Lucas. So, but yeah, it's just you just think about all that stuff and you just think, God, it's just insane how. And then digital projection in theaters. I mean, so it's like that too. Like the prequels, they forced the theaters to upgrade to digital, you know?
And Jar Jar Binks. Oh, well, never mind.
Everyone makes mistakes.
I wonder if they'll redo Howard the Duck.
I hope so. That would be cool. But I need Leah Thomas in it too, or whatever her name is, Thompson in it too. Same chick's got to be in it.
Oh yeah.
That's Back to the Future mom too, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Sean said they showed all of his student films, you know, before he got there, and you know, I had already seen them all because I watched them all in film. Like they have an archive at USC, you can go down and you can you used to be able to just pull stuff off. It used to be so fun because you could just randomly pull student films off the shelf and watch them. And but he was saying how Lucas said, I just wanted to keep making experimental films. And I'm like, why hasn't he started making just experimental films now then? You know, it's like he's got the money.
He said he was going to make stuff under like a name that nobody knew. So I wonder if he's doing that.
Maybe he has made stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
He could be on this call right now.
that's right.
Ah,
Good. Got a new medical doctor series.
So I don't know how many people are like fans of the original Dune, the Lynch version, but there is a version that this person cut, and I'm reading this book. There's this I read it on my vacation. It's this massive book about the making of Dune, the original Dune, and it's just the coolest book because it's like that thick, and it's just stories and all these interviews that the author did with everyone that's still alive that was involved in the film. And there's a whole section about all the versions that they made, and so there's this editor called Spice Diver basically made a version that is using all the footage that had been released for different versions and like compiling them all into something that's the closest thing to Lynch's original script. Because, you know, like when you read this book, you're just like, it's a miracle that movie ever got finished, because it's just like so crazy, the story. And so I watched this. So this version, you can find it online and download it. And it's just so cool because there's just so many scenes that were cut that, you know, that just make the movie so much more well-rounded. But it's, you know, it's super long. It's like 3 hours and 5 minutes or something. And that's not even everything. So in the book, they interviewed David, and he's like, well, I'm actually, this is so sad because it was in 2022, but he was actually saying he was thinking about going back and getting all the footage and like basically redoing the whole film with new special effects and like everything.
everything.
It would have been so cool. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, that would have been like, because that, I don't know, that movie to me, like when it came out, it was, I don't know, it's like stayed with me. It haunted me for like years after I saw that movie in the theater. Even though it's not like a great movie, but it's just visually, it's just so, you know, it's so like next level, you know. I mean, you look at the set design, and just like everything about that movie is like the costumes, and when you hear the stories about it, it's like when you read, because they have the interview with like the costume designer and the set designer, and like David Lynch, he had to live in Mexico for like a year and a half. I mean, it's just the craziest stories, you know. And they were supposed to do all 3 books, so they had already signed deals with all the people for 3 movies, you know, to do the first 3 books. But anyways,
Cool.
it's just, anyone who's like interested in Dune, like it's a fascinating book. I'll post. I'll find it's called like. Let me go get it. But it's super interesting book.
Do they talk about Star Wars at all?
Well, they talk about they have a whole section where Lucas is interviewing Lynch, and how like basically like he's like George, this is your world. Like he's like, I would destroy your world. You don't want me on, you know, Star Wars. You know, it's like this. It's so interesting. But he was already in negotiations to do Dune when he met with Lucas. So, and then what's so interesting is how many other huge directors were supposed to do Dune. So like Ridley Scott was supposed to do it. He had done a whole bunch of work on it and then left. And then, you know, they list all the directors and then all the people they considered for the different roles. Like Val Kilmer had basically been cast as Paul. And Dino De Laurentiis basically was like, I don't like his lips. He just kept telling David, I don't like his lips. I don't like his lips. Like he just became obsessed with his lips. And so, I mean, they were doing test shoots with him. They were doing the contacts, trying to figure out how to make the eyes blue. They were doing all this stuff. And then like at the Dino just is like, I just don't like, they're still negotiating his contract, and he's just like, I don't like his lips. So they did a last ditch casting call, and they found Kyle, and like then David like just fell in love with Kyle and like was like, no, he's Paul, you know, and like, so that's how. I mean, it's just the craziest story. Like it's such a fascinating. I just love reading those books where they go really deep into like a film, because you just realize when a film turns out great, it's just a miracle. You know, it's such a it's amazing, right?
A lot of happy accidents.
A lot of happy accidents. That's what it is.
Yeah. Have any of you guys had some happy accidents in AI lately?
I think so.
That always is fun when you do stumble across something and it's like, wow, this is just cool.
Well, I did share that one thing that was a hallucination where the camera goes around. There's this girl, and the camera goes around the girl. On the other
Yes.
side, she's an adult woman.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
I did.
Oh wow.
That was
But
cool.
then I thought maybe I could do another story where I could use that. You know.
That
That's a
would be
happy
interesting to
accident.
use. Yeah, that'd be interesting to use that camera movement in Runway or somewhere, one of the other models where you're using it, to create something else, but using that movement. First frame, last
It was a
frame.
combination of the camera and the girl turning, I think. So
Hmm.
Right. It's the change that was the interesting part of it, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it's a interesting way of showing time or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
But
Passing
then,
of
but then the
time.
background is consistent. The background doesn't change. I mean, that's the
Right.
one where I have fish swimming in the sky, and they kind of get, it gets less densely populated towards the end, but otherwise the background stays the same.
Yeah.
Which is cool because space can stay the same and time changes. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Ron, what's going on with your projects?
Nothing much. Like I said, I'm just I just published my 6th Substack article. So and I already have the next 2 lined up. I try to release on Tuesday and Thursday. So this is a full-time job. I've been writing quite a bit. I will tell you guys, noticing the Mac in the background there. If everyone here wants to feel old. So I was just doing some research, and I was looking into some processing, the kind of the history of processing, and I was just doing some research on like Mac, as in multiplication accumulation, right? And so, do you know what the top search when you look for Mac is? People want to know why apples are called Macs. How old does that make you feel? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Macintosh.
But I
Yeah.
guess if you think about it, they call them Macs, but they're Apple, but no one has really explained
Yeah.
that.
Nobody remembers. Yeah. The
don't
Macintosh.
remember
We haven't used the Macintosh
The
name.
makeup Mac.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess young people just don't know why they call it Macs. I guess we could have
Interesting,
called them Lisas.
Yeah.
Nah, no one would get that one either.
Ouch. Yeah. Yeah. What What do you think is going to be the next poster child of the week? I mean, it's
every week.
it's Sora. It's VO
No,
3.1. It's what'll it be next?
I think
Runway 27.
we're living in Forrest Gump world, where that life is a box of chocolates. I think that's exactly where we are right now.
Yeah.
Has anyone tried Ray 3 yet?
Nope.
No, Sora's taking up all my time. I did jump back to.
I know you've been posting some. What's that?
I did jump back to MidJourney really fast because I have a puppet friend who's like a professional puppet master or whatever the actual title. It starts with an Emerson.
Like the
Marionette. Yeah, he's really good. His name's like Puppet Master 213, but he's learned from Bob Baker, like the original Marionette in Los Angeles. Well, he has his famous puppets, El Trista, Smiley, and like this Fool's Gone Wild one. So he just told me, take these photos and make me any AI video. I'm like, and me and him used to smoke at lunchtime. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to make him smoke, get abducted by aliens, and then he flies his spaceships to downtown LA and picks up your 2 other dolls, and then they smoke. But they managed to smoke out the aliens. MidJourney did a horrible job, but somehow the horrible clips together look like, oh, it works. the alien was supposed to suck them up. Instead, both of the characters see the alien ship and walk off the screen. But then on the next prompt, I got the alien ship to suck them up, but instead of sucking them up, it splits in two and then goes off screen too. I was like, well, it kind of looks like the alien ship followed them out of the screen. I'll take it. Really bad. But I posted it up. They got a few hundred views on YouTube, but only because I don't follow the same crowd he does. As soon as he reposts it, it'll probably blow up.
Did you generate the videos on MidJourney as well?
I generated the images through Gemini and then put them all together in MidJourney, animated them in MidJourney. I tried to give them as simple prompts as I could, just so that way it wouldn't go too ham. Because I find on MidJourney sometimes when I go too detailed is when I get the weird stuff with multiple characters coming out of characters and things moving too much. So I just go with, make me change this to this, and maybe that guy in the background moves a little differently or something. But that was fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think MidJourney, you just got to do simple prompts.
Yeah, you can't go hard.
Yeah, it's not like,
because it'll pick out random details.
Yeah, it's just. But if you do
that
simple
like
prompts, it's really good.
And sometimes like the running loops out of nowhere, they'll be running and then just start going backwards. I'm like, why are they going backwards? They were running so good forward, and then they're like, now we're running backwards, but still running in the forward position as they go backwards. I've gotten that with a bear and my dog and the whale too. Like, I just want them to swim forward, not move the wrong way.
Yeah, I mainly use MidJourney to generate the still images and then pull them into other platforms.
Yeah, same. Sometimes I'll get lucky on MidJourney with the video, but usually it's the still that's the best thing out of MidJourney.
I did cheat too. I had a client hit me up for some art, and then I drew the first few things, but they're like, that's not it. I need it more cuter. I needed this. And I'm like, you know what? Copy your prompt, throw it in MidJourney. MidJourney, make me something. It generated this really crappy 3D chicken. And I was like, perfect. Just traced over them. Here you go. Does that work? She's like, that's great. I was like, perfect. But I totally cheated. I felt bad, but at the same time, it was like, whatever. I'm not getting what you want. Let me just throw this in here and see what it does.
Hey, client was happy.
Right?
There you go.
I did feel like I was cheating the system, though. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty common. I think a lot of artists are using it now to like get angles. It's like basically using it like to get the perspectives and stuff, right?
Well, did any of you see the Adobe stuff today recently? The new Adobe Max and the apps. So there's two different apps. There's one where you can now take your 2D art and transform it into 3D art ready to be 3D printed, which is freaking crazy. Like they're saying it's not AI, it's AI. They're using some other weird words. I didn't watch the video full enough to understand it, but that was just the little one.
Which tool is that in?
There's two new apps. They're new apps completely. I think
I saw that one tool now that you can take illustrations and just basically pull arms and just
it literally restructures everything. Like, you don't need to build any skeletons anymore. Like, if you have a weird drawing of a squiggly man, you could straighten out his arms, straighten out his hair. It's freaking insane.
Yeah, and what's insane is like how you can zoom in and just do like the hair, like pull out just the strands.
Yeah, almost like it all of a sudden made everything vector art. So there's like an infinite zoom on stuff. It's really freaking crazy. And it's not like the Liquidate tool where you smear stuff and it just smears all over.
It's more like it reminds me of the pen tool and After Effects.
Yeah, but it like instantly
it's very much like but it's super fast, you know?
Yeah, it was really cool. One of my friends at Apple that still works there sent me that, like, dude, are you watching this stuff? You're doing AI, play with this. I'm like, oh my God, that's freaking cool.
Yeah, that I saw. I didn't see the 3D thing though, but there's a lot of tools online now that are getting really, really good.
Yeah, the Max event just happened, so they were bragging about it.
So do you know what that is? It available now to download as a beta, or
trying to find what it was called? No, I think it was just the hype. I don't think it's in anything. Only the squiggly tool is inside of Photoshop.
Yeah, that squiggly tool I saw, it's in FR. I don't know what that app is, Fresco or something.
Oh, it's Fresco. Yes, that's on. So I've been playing. So since all of these iPhone, Apple, like iPad, digital PDA, I've been testing drawing apps consistently since the beginning. And Fresco was really cool when they dropped that, but they got rid of Adobe Ideas. Adobe Ideas was like their very first app that they made. I was able to create vector art on the fly and everything there. Fresco is like a combination of a bitmap and a vector program. You could do realistic paintings, everything. And then you can even time lapse release what you did. So you could watch how you created it in one full
thing. It's like
thing.
Painter, basically.
Yeah, which was also part of the original idea one. But they keep taking apps, they keep doing great things and then dropping them and making some new one. Frisco's the new combination of stuff, which, I mean, it's nice, but it's more artist driven than vector art, but you can do vector art in there too. But I don't like the combination of both because then you're still exporting JPEGs sometimes. So what was the point?
Right,
of having
like you don't know how to save it as a vector, right?
Yeah, and that's the problem too with a lot of these mobile apps that you can do design work. Unless it's exporting PDFs, AI, or SVGs, you're wasting your time making a 1,000 pixel by 1,000 pixel JPEG. Yeah, and then you're going to give that to some artist who's going to laugh at you and be like, well, this is flat. It's not in layers. What the hell do you want me to do with this? But then you can shove it in AI, and AI is like, I got it.
I'll separate all the layers for you.
Yeah. Which I've done some intros. Those are pretty cool.
I played with
AI vectorizer out there. Like Raster vector.
I think there is. I've seen some tool that does. It takes and separates it as layers. It takes and makes it vector, and then actually I forget what it's called, but it separates them into.
Why not do it with Illustrator layers. Now? You can do the image trace.
Trace, yeah.
Yeah, but that's hit or miss, at least in my experience.
So the way you counter that, depending, like, so if you have a piece that's too thin and like the line works too thin and it's not really working, it's like no matter how hard you try in Illustrator, the image trace just won't see it. Open that file in Photoshop first and then edit the threshold and turn the threshold up so all the lines become like nasty jags. Like they will become thicker if you mess with threshold. Then bring it back into Illustrator and trace it. Illustrator will have a way easier time because now all the lines have become, even though they don't look perfect in the JPEG, they're kind of like jaggedy but thicker. Illustrator will have an easier time converting it into smoother lines for you.
Does it work to upres it? Does that help at all? Like if you upres, just do a simple scale upres thing?
Yeah, but if the line works still too thin or whatever you're trying to chase to get the object, it's still, right. Yeah, you can mess with threshold in image trace, but it's still not going to do as good as messing with it in Photoshop to get it darker and contrast. Totally, and then it'll see the two different colors. It's better for two-tone things, not an image. Like
what iPad or what tool do you use like to do drawing? Like what's the best one that you found?
Oh, I use my finger, and right now I'm back on Illustrator since they made Illustrator available for me on Adobe. Or on the,
so now that's just what you use. Go back to
I just use Illustrator nonstop. And then Procreate too. Procreate Dreams. I really like that because it's like having After Effects on your iPad. And I use that for the AI videos too. Like, and the subscribe now, I animated all that in Procreate. So that way I can just put the clips in there and go. And you can do frame by frame animation too, but it is only bitmap.
Right. But doesn't it allow you to do vector, but output's only to bitmap, right? Like the actual, like you can go and edit them at like a mask you would in.
You can edit mask and stuff inside.
Like it's like a mask in After Effects where it has the little points and stuff, right? But
yes, on certain parts of it you can.
Yeah, but it only outputs to bitmap.
Yeah, like a video. Yeah, it only gives you videos. Or I think it'll do still sequences too. But I like that one though, and I'm happy with Illustrator. There was one other one. Oh, my iPad's out now. It was the other drawing one I had.
I was playing with 11 Labs this weekend for music, and I was surprised that you can't do stems there. There are AI programs out there that you can throw music in and it'll make the stem, it'll split the stems for you. But I was kind of surprised that 11 Labs wasn't able to split things.
11.
Oh, you're muted, Steven.
You know, I found a tool that did that. I can't remember what it was called though.
Yeah, there's a few of them out there.
It was limited. It could make out certain things and separate them, but not everything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I was disappointed in 11 Labs. Really great music, but I asked for a female British voice, and it gave me a male British voice. I was like, waste of credits. Refund, please.
Oh yeah, I was sitting with my son last night and we were making AI videos in Sora, and he was just laughing because it was coming out so bad. They were so sloppy, such horrible things. And
Well,
then
at least the price is right on Sora.
Totally. But you got to watch it because then after those so many violations, you're like, shit, I'm out of my 30 videos. I gotta wait till tomorrow at 4 p.m.
So yeah, the app is called lalal.ai, LALAL.ai. It's a STEM.
I might have to try it.
Yeah, it's funny. Yesterday I went onto this one page and it was just all these like prompts for writers, and I just started copying those and putting those into Sora to see what it would make with them, you know? It was just so funny, like just taking random stuff and putting it in to see what it makes with it. Because if it's free, it's like I don't care.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing on Meta AI to see what I get.
Someone could probably just create an app that uses an AI that just pulls that stuff and just generates stuff. And then you
just keep making things.
Yeah.
Well, what's it called? What was the process that they did? They wrote. What's his name? Where he would take a book and he'd cut up all the words and then make a new book.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say George Martin and the Beatles when he chopped up the tapes.
I thought you were talking about kidnap letters.
Well, it's like that, but they take a book. Burroughs did it, right? He cut a book up. So he took like a famous book, let's say Catcher in the Rye, right? And you take that book, and the theory was that hidden within books are other books, right? So you take a book, you take all the words, you chop up all the words, and then you write a new book that's from all those words. Okay.
Well, Talking Heads
you
did
have to use
that too on Remaining. Talking Heads did that on Remaining Light.
Basically this became like it became like and there was a lot of writers at that time period that started doing this, right? And so it has a name, but anyways, I told ChatGPT to do that. I said, take this book, the first chapter, so you can have it do it, and it will you have no idea if it's accurate because it hallucinates so much, but it's that type of thing where maybe you could take something and because I'm fascinated with that idea that inside of a book there is another book, right? So there's probably a lot of books inside each book, that if you just took all those words and rearranged
We're living in
them,
a hallucination.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something kind of fascinating about, my process is so different. So for me, it's I'm all about the randomness. I'm all about give me stuff that I can't control so that it gives me weird stuff, and that's the fun of it, because then it feels like you are co-creating with something.
Oh yeah, you definitely feel like a director, but then sometimes you're like, man, I want to fire my whole staff.
No, exactly. There's days where you're just can you make something interesting, please? Because you're just
tried putting in absurdist lyrics into MidJourney and got some interesting results. And then MidJourney is cool because you can just keep iterating on it.
Yeah, because then you can iterate. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In MidJourney, it's so cool because once you get on a thread, you can just
Yeah. I like just one
stuff.
word in MidJourney, put in the word fear and see what you get. Just pick a word, pick an emotion, and
you put a high chaos setting, so it's just all over the map, right?
And then you use my document with all the P codes, and then you just
if you haven't seen Mike's document, you should check that out.
Document, man.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see it.
That document.
Drop it in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Let me get it.
Yeah, it's literally a string of all these different things, so you can profiles and mood boards, so you can copy them if you haven't set up your own. But it's every different style, which is sick.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I have my own mood boards, but they're not as refined as I'd like.
Yeah, I want to incorporate more.
You found stuff for all the different artists, right? Mike?
Well, I also did that. Yeah. So I did.
Oh, that's cool.
I tried to find as many artists as I could think of and see if MidJourney knows them or not. And so I made a document of that, which is super helpful. And then I made this document. So this is all the. Did that go through? Oh yeah, there it is.
Yep.
So that document is just P codes. So it's just. So what's interesting about a P code is a P code, you have to rate a whole bunch of images to get the P code, right? So it's a process to get there. And so it's interesting because you're kind of getting someone's aesthetic as a result of that P code, right? And so I find that more interesting than say an SREF or something because it's a much wider range of images where an SREF, it's super focused. And also mood boards, you can't control the style weight of an SREF with a mood board. So, if you do P codes and you do an SREF with a P code, you can control the weight of the P code and you can control the weight of the SREF. So that allows you to basically, bring them up or down as you need, which is really helpful if you want to I like that SREF, but it's a little bit too strong. I'm just going to barely, so you do style weight, you do dash SW and just do it like a low number. So it just brings a little bit of that into your image, right? And then that would allow you to use that with a P code. But you can't use a mood board with an SREF and a style weight and a stylize, which stylize is the P code weight, right? So if you do dash stylize, that's how much of the P code is weighted into your image. Does that make sense?
I often use style raw on my outputs.
Yeah. And then style raw is like basically none of the normal MidJourney influence is there, right? So that's what the style raw is basically it wipes away any of MidJourney's default settings. I usually do that on everything just because that way you're really seeing what the P code does. You're not mixing P codes because you can mix P codes too. So like that list I gave, you could put 3 of those P codes together and try that. And like Tim was saying, just doing simple words is just fascinating because you really see like here I just did dog and you see really like, well, how is that P code see a dog, the word dog, right? And you really start to understand kind of like the complexity of the choices the person made and where that leads it now as the model progresses, right?
That makes me think of the early days of computer vision. It was all about cats, wasn't it? The first computer vision.
Well, that's why we would glowing cats, because that's like the first Photoshop lesson is mess with cats in space.
It's so
we
funny.
lost Steve. Or is my internet wigging out? I'm watching you all flicker right now.
Yeah, it's some kind of security issue I got, but it's starting to load.
The aliens, they're in the sky, bro. They're messing
There you go.
3-Eye Atlas, here they come.
Maybe we should wrap up the call, but
here's the artist style one too. If you haven't seen this one, so I just.
Oh, okay, I'm pulling that one too.
It's all for 5.2, but it works for the latest model. But I had started this in 5.2, and what's interesting is sometimes I'll actually go back to 5.2 because the thing with 5.2 is you could combine 500 artists. So you could do style of this person, and you could weight each artist, right? So I would make these prompts that were, 1,000 character, these huge prompts that basically were all these style weights of different artists. And you can't do that with any of the newer models. You can only do 7 style weights now with all the new models. So a lot of times I'll go back to 5.2 to create stuff because it's just you can get more interesting results when you layer like tons of artists' names in a row, and then you're sort of like painting with color. Like each artist becomes like a color,
Have you ever hit a context window limit on that for MidJourney?
I haven't. I mean, there is, like I said, there is for all the new ones. but I never. I mean, I can show you some of these prompts were like so gigantic; they were huge, and it would do it. And just by changing the weight, just a tiny bit on a huge prompt, will totally change the result.
Cool. Well, guys,
Mike,
I'm gonna tap
Mike,
out
your
here.
files don't allow copying and paste.
Oh, how do I?
Which is weird.
How do
I have no idea. I just tried copying it. It's like you can't copy and paste. That's for another. That's next meeting.
Well, if you do a frame grab, you could just use preview.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know how to enable that.
No, you're good. I just happen to see it right now. It might just be a Mac thing. Like if you, I don't know.
Yeah, it might be just that you're not in Chrome. It's like
right.
Google does that for everything. Like, oh, you have to use Chrome to get all of our features. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Copy and paste.
That was cool.
Cool. Well,
All
thanks,
right.
guys.
Thanks, everyone.
I will catch
Peace
you
out.
later. I
Thank
hope
you,
we
guys.
get some fun this week.